I am not a licensed mobility scooter technician. I do what I do to keep my machine working. If you're having problems with your machine, I suggest going to your dealer. If you add accessories, warranty goes bye-bye. So I just kind of want to enjoy what I can while I can. So I strongly suggest you don't do the things that I do. I make the mistakes so you don't have to. Hey, back for another day. The storms come through last night. That was pretty crazy. When I saw those mammatus clouds go through, or appear I should say, kind of got my attention. Because like I said, they're generally, associated with supercells, so I really didn't want to be seeing those. But we never really got anything major. We had a little bit of wind and heavy downpour for a little bit. We still need more rain. We didn't get enough, but at least we got some. But it looked kind of scary when it was coming in, but as typical. You had this line of storms moving through and it just kind of separated and spared us, like it generally tends to do. So that was kind of nice, and we had another round come through. There was 4 rounds altogether. The first one was in the morning when I said we got a quick shower. It was either hail or really big raindrops because it was very loud, but I didn't look out. It lasted about a minute. That's all we got. That was the first wave. The second wave was what I saw coming in when I was out here and restricted what I could do out here for the day. And the third wave that came through was we got a tornado warning. It popped up on my phone. It was, I can't remember what it's called, the emergency response system or alert ready. I think that's what it is. Alert ready system. The same system that sends us the Amber alerts. So I was actually recording the radar at the time when it popped up, so I actually got that on video. That was kind of cool. And it was a tornado warning for this coverage area is how it was worded, which means my cell phone in that particular area, that's the area that's got the warning. And well, there was nothing that was really threatening us, so I think we just kind of got lumped in with London because there was rotating storm just north of London, and we're between here and London, which is where it was. So I think we just kind of got lumped in with them because we were never in any danger. And that was, I don't think we got anything from that. The whole time it was mostly just distant thunder. We never got any actual storms. Like I say, we just got some heavy rain for a period. That was it. A little bit of wind, but all the thunder was distant. There was nothing directly in our particular area here, so we got spared again, thank you. But the fourth wave that came through, I was asleep when that got here, but it was just rain. I could see it developing over in Michigan, but it was all green. There was no orange, yellow, reds in it or anything, so it was just rain. So if we got anything from it, it was probably just a short period of light rain or something. So back to business out here today. So my goal today to start is I'm gonna put the fender braces or fender brackets back on. I'm gonna wash this off first before I do that. And I'm going to drill the holes to mount them. This one's okay. This is This is the old one, or this is the new one, so it doesn't have any holes in it. But the old one, I can barely see where they are because I painted over it. But I had to grind off the bolts because they were so stuck in there so tight. So I gotta grind them out, and I'm gonna drill the holes and put new bolts through, my own bolts. Mount the fenders back on. So in order to do that, I need those bolts. So I went to Rona today. I'm gonna see if I can hold this up rather. It's gonna fall over. Okay, I can't go any higher than that. Alright, I'll just angle the camera back a little more. Okay, that should be good. Rather than holding it and constantly moving. Because I kind of want both hands here now anyways. So, I went to Rona. I will be glad when they're finished fixing that place. They're doing so much work there that they're doing a little bit of the store at a time. I swear they're like completely rebuilding the store just a little bit at a time. So every time I go there, now the entrances change. You have to go to this side, that side. Now the entrances are like at the back. So they always, and they change everything around inside the store as they're working on one part. They move everything around, and every time I go in there, stuff I want is always in a different place. So I have to go searching for it. So first thing I wanted was, this is the bolt from the rear axle on the monster. This is what holds the hub on. This keeps coming loose. So I got looking at the lock washer on it. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's kind of squished together. So it's not doing its job anymore. So my goal today was to replace it. So I got a new one. I got 4 of them. So I'm going to do all 4 wheels. And hopefully this will not come loose again and fall out. So you can see the difference. I don't know how focused that is, but you can see the difference. This one's not sticking out anymore. It's kind of squished together, so it's not working anymore. So I got 4 new ones. Put on all 4 wheel bolts, front and back. So I got that done. Again, I went to look for lock nuts for my ball joints. Again, M8 lock nuts do not exist at that store. There is a shelf spot for them. The aisle that all the bolts, nuts and bolts and washers and everything are in, it's a whole aisle of them, and 90% of it is imperial, like inches, and I get this tiny little section of metric. Again, this is Canada. Why is metric so hard to find? I don't know. So I went looking, and they don't have nut bolt combinations in the M8 size or anything close to it. M6 that have lock nuts. So I had to buy M5 bolts because they're thinner, so I figured they'd work best. M5 bolts and M5 lock nuts separately. I wanted M6 because they have the I wanted M6. I can't remember why. So the M6, that's what it was. The length, that they had different lengths to choose from. Lots of lengths to choose from. So I picked up the M6 bolts first and went looking for the M6 nuts. They don't exist. So I had to go with the M5. And these are a little bit longer than I wanted. These are 16 millimeter. I think it was 12 that I went with the M6. So I had to go with 16 millimeters. M5 because they do have the M5 block nuts. However, I can take these back because I didn't realize I already had them. So I did an update video today, and as I'm sitting there, I saw these four. These are the normal bolts that I use. I don't know if these are like 3/8 or something. I'm not sure. I got 3 different lengths, so I use these bolts for everything. So I have 4 of them sitting here with the washers, all ready to go, that I was going to use for the fender brackets. So I'm thinking, okay, but they are pretty big. You know, you got the kind of a sharp edge on the hex nut, the hex heads, that if something happens and the tire rubs on it, it's going to be a problem. And the nut sticks out pretty far. So, you know, but they're usable, right? And I have them. So then I found these. They get the soft round heads on them, which I can put on the inside, and they got lock nuts, and they're the kind of the right length that I wanted. I don't know where these came from, but I got 4 of them sitting here with the nuts already on them that I was going to use. So I can take these back and get my money back for them, because apparently I don't need them. But that's not going to happen today. I'll probably do that tomorrow, because tomorrow I have to go out. I still haven't sent my charger back yet. I was going to get it all ready to go yesterday, and I realized I don't have the power cord with it, because the power cord on all my chargers are the same. So I just unplug one and put the other charger onto it. So I never used the actual brand new power cord from it. So I had to search for that when I come out today. It didn't take too long to find it, but I found it. So now I can package it all up and send it off tomorrow. Find out how much that's going to cost. So, what I do today? Today, I am going to work on putting this on. Like I said, I gotta wash this off first. It doesn't matter if it's wet when I put everything together. And then, I gotta do some more painting. I'm gonna paint the red. Oh, I'm hurting already. The red accents on the outer rims, and then I can set them somewhere, because they should be dry everywhere else by now. So I'll set them somewhere and let them sit, and it doesn't matter if they're sitting in dirt anymore, because the paint's dry. It's not going to stick to it. And then I can start painting the outer rims. But whether I'm going to do that today or not, I don't know, because with these now being complete, I can start working on this. And if I can find it, where did it go? And I can put the bolt. Whoa! I can put the new bolt in here and weld it a little better than it was. So these are ready to go, because I gotta scrape off the paint in order to weld it. So I gotta repaint these and give them a little bit of time to dry too. And if I get all that finished, then I will decide what I'm gonna do from there. So I gotta take a quick break here. I gotta stand up and give my legs some relief, because they're hurting already just from squatting here talking. So I come up with an idea. Remember, I got my acrylic tube, and it doesn't quite fit inside there, so I gotta grind it down a little bit. But the main issue with that is there's a lot of play on the inside, and I got thinking if there's something I could stick in there, because I can't put duct tape around the nut or anything, because it has to screw in. It has to go through this hole first, and then the tube, and then the other hole. So I can't make the nut or the bolt actually any bigger. So I got thinking, is there something that can stick inside the tube? I got thinking maybe, a little bit of rubber or something. There's so little space there, and that's gonna rattle like crazy and make all kinds of noise. So I got thinking, if I had some rubber, maybe make something out of rubber. I got thinking, I have this hockey puck. So I can cut a circle. I'll check my circle cutters to see what I have, if I have the right size. And if not, I'll just go to the bigger size and trim it down, but it's going to have a hole in the center. I can drill that out, that's not a big deal. Just so it just matches the bolt, right? And if it, it's not going to make a lot of noise if it's not fitting 100% perfectly. So, the nice thing about this is it's the perfect width. There's a little bit of space here because this bracket got stretched out, but it fits perfectly. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's the perfect width. So I might just do that rather than play around with this and end up having to do it a different way again later anyways. So that's my plan for that. So this solution worked out perfectly. So with my stainless steel tube that I made, that worked out. I'm impressed. That's just, I couldn't get any better than that. That just worked perfectly. So first thing I'm going to do right now, this is probably stuck to my mat because of the paint. I just put this on here so I didn't step in it or drive the ES950 through it. It's still pretty wet, but take it off for now, just so it doesn't stick to it permanently. So, what I'm going to do now is, I forgot to do this before I started. Oh, it's all scuffed up. No, I'm not worried about it. I can wipe the top off later. The inside's just going to get dirty again anyway, so what the heck. So I am going to put this on. Screw it in place. See, this was the problem I had. When I welded the threaded rod to this, everything just kind of moved. It still works, because I did try it. I could get the screws in. But it's just... It's twisted. So that's why I got the welding magnet. So when I do the other one, I'm hoping it holds everything together while I'm welding it, because everything's just like off. But it's still gonna work, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm gonna put these screws in first. Stick some grease in the holes, rather than trying to. The screws are tiny and they're pretty rusty, but they're tiny, so I don't want to try to grease these and get grease all over my fingers. So I'm just going to stick the grease in the hole itself. So the grease will, or the screw will actually go through it on the way in. So I'm going to do the messed up ones first. If I can. Match up the hole. Okay. Then I can just kind of manipulate these into the right spot. It's still going to work. It's not lined up 100%, but it'll still go in. Right. Or will they? That's the right one. Yep. don't want to over tighten them, but I gotta make sure they don't come loose. Okay, so that one's done. Ready to go. The other one I still have to take off and clean up, weld it and paint it, but that one's ready. And that one is, that's the left side, so that's the one without the speedometer. And I do have to drill the holes. They're almost the right size, but not quite. No wonder. Will I get lucky and already have that one on here? That'll work. Perfect. Yeah, it's already plugged in. Beautiful. Okay. So the other holes, those ones are already good. So it's just these ones. That was easier than I expected. So that goes this way. I don't remember if it's on the outside, I think it's on the outside. So I will put these into this direction. Perfect. Drop everything. Put that on. Grab me a wrench the right size. Grab me a screwdriver the right size. Oops. Make them as tight as I can. Okay, that shouldn't come loose. That one's ready. So now I'm going to put the hub on. Before I do that, I need to grease it so it doesn't stick again like it did last time, or hopefully it doesn't. Go away, spider. just like I figured. I don't know if you can see that. Lock washer for the front's not really all that great anymore either, so maybe we'll replace it. I can figure out what I did with them. Where did I put them? I think I stuck them. Yeah, and that will fit the washer perfectly. Make sure I put the washer on the right way. The lock washer. Yeah, where's my hub socket? I just kind of got everything piled together here in one spot. My hub socket seems to be eluding me. Oh, there it is. I don't even need that trigger. Gotta use that to pound down my bearing. Not super tight. Okay, we're good. We're good. One more. I do not want that to come apart. So that one is ready to go back on. Once I get that bolt welded on.